Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's yoga flow is focused on the Scorpio season and harnessing the powers that come along with that astrological season. So go ahead and join me in tabletop, and we're going to start by just gently swaying our hips. I really want to encourage you to do any movement in this position that just feels organic or intuitive to you. So you can see I was rocking my hips back and forth, and now I'm just kind of circling them back and forth, gradually making bigger circles, alternating the direction. There's really no right or wrong here. We're just kind of warming up our body and loosening up our hips. Scorpio season is the perfect time to let go of things, so keep that in mind as we're moving through this sequence. Alright, go ahead and meet me back in tabletop. I'm going to bring my knees a little bit wider and go ahead and take it back into child's pose. So we're going to spend a few moments here, so really relax into this pose, find a comfortable position, stretching out that lower back, your hips, and your shoulders. Start to contemplate anything you need to let go of in this season. Just like the Scorpio outgrows its shell, you may have outgrown things that are preventing your evolution and growth. Then go ahead and take your arms to the right side, still in child's pose, just stretching your spine to the right. Taking time to focus on your breath. And then we're going to take our arms to the left side of our mat, still in child's pose, still contemplating what we're letting go of in this season, and still focusing on our breath. Then go ahead and bring your arms back to center. And then gently bring it back up into tabletop pose with your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your elbows. We're then going to take it into some cat-cow. So inhale, look up towards the sky, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale, arch your back, looking up towards the sky. Exhale, round your back, tuck your tailbone in, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, looking up towards the sky, arching your back. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin and your tailbone in. Inhale, really arch that back, looking all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, allow your back to really round, tucking your tailbone and your chin in towards your chest. One more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. And then bring it back towards a neutral tabletop. Shake out your hips if you need to. Then we're going to inhale and bring that left arm straight out towards the side of our mat. And then you're going to thread it through to the other side, threading the needle, twisting your spine gently. And then you can take your right arm and keep it straight towards the top of your mat. But really making sure our spine is nice and long here. Contemplating what we're letting go of in this season that is preventing us from our current growth. And then go ahead and bring it back up into tabletop, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So extend that right arm out, inhaling, exhale, thread it through to the other side, keeping both arms straight, keeping your spine nice and long as you gently twist. Breathe into this twist, breathe into this present moment as you tune into what your intuition is telling you to let go of. Gently bringing it back up into tabletop, and then we're going to lower our hips into an upward facing dog. So our chest and our gaze is towards the sky, really pushing off the ground, keeping our neck still nice and long. Our shoulders aren't scrunched up. really tuning in to that guidance. Then go ahead and tuck your toes under, pop it up into a quick plank, and then we're going to raise our hips, push our weight into our palms, into downward facing dog. So our legs are straight, our back is straight, and we're trying to bring those heels towards the ground. It's okay if they're not touching. Use this time to really stretch out your calves if you need to. Taking a nice deep breath here. Then we're going to inhale, raise that right leg as high as we can in the sky. And then go ahead and bring it back into a quick scorpion pose. So that means you're just bringing the bottom of your feet towards the opposite side of your mat, doing a quick hip stretch. And then again, thread that leg through into a high pigeon. So keeping our chest and our gaze nice and high here. Taking a nice deep breath into that hip sensation, that hip stretch. Then go ahead and lower it onto your forearms. Still in that pigeon. Still breathing into that hip sensation. We can keep a lot of tension in our hips. Then gently bring it back up into a high pigeon. And then if it feels right, you don't have to do this. You can bring up your back leg and hold on to it with your left arm. Still keeping your chest nice and high, just getting a nice quadricep stretch here. But again, you can stay in high pigeon if that feels best. Gently lower your leg. Meet me back in plank, and then eventually in downward facing dog. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So stretch out your hamstrings if you need to. Keep your spine nice and straight in downward facing dog. Then we're going to inhale, lift that left leg high as you can up in the air. Exhale, bring it back into a scorpion, so stretching out that hip. Still in three-legged dog. Then we're going to sweep that leg through into high pigeon on the other side. So our chest and gaze are nice and high. We're considering any shadows that we need to shine light on. Scorpio season is a perfect time to peek into those shadow aspects of ourselves. Slowly lowering into low pigeon. Still contemplating any part of us that we felt ashamed about or that we need to hide, and really allowing ourselves to show up fully in that space. Releasing any tension we feel in our body, especially our hips. Breathing into that tension. Come back up into a high pigeon, and then you can hold on to that back foot if you'd like to, or you can stay in high pigeon, whatever feels best to you. Bring some gentle awareness to any sensations you're feeling in your body right now. And breathe into those sensations. Now gently release your foot and meet me back in plank position, and then in downward facing dog. Spend a few moments in this pose just taking nice deep breaths. And try seeing these parts of you that have been in the shadow from a new perspective. Then go ahead and take your time getting into tabletop pose, and then eventually getting into a position on your back. We're going to bring both knees to our chest, hugging them in as tight as we can. Feeling that stretch in our lower back. Feeling any transformations that we're going to allow during this season. Then go ahead and extend your left leg as far as you can away from you, still keeping that right knee towards your chest, hugging it in as tight as you can. Breathing into this moment. And then go ahead and slowly lower your arms into a T, We're going to lower our right knee to the left side and then keep our gaze towards the other side. Again, doing a light twist with the spine. Really allowing those things that are holding us back to release from our body into the ground where they can turn into something else that is useful. Now bring it back up towards that neutral position. Lower your right leg and then bring your left knee towards your chest. Hugging it in as far as you can, extending that right leg out as far as you can away from your body. Then extending our arms into a T, doing a twist on the other side. So our knee is going towards the right side of our mat, and then we're gazing towards the left side of our mat, really feeling that stretch in our spine. Wringing out those things, those aspects that we need to let go of, so we can truly step into our highest self. Don't forget to keep breathing. Nice deep breaths. Bring it back towards the center, hugging that knee into your chest one more time, and then extending both legs out. Before we head into our final poses, just take some time to be aware of how you feel in this moment. Then go ahead and bring the bottoms of your feet towards your body, bending those knees, and then go ahead and pop your hips up into a bridge. I'm keeping my arms out straight towards my feet, but you can bind them behind your back if that feels good to you, pushing your hips up as far as you can. Again, being aware of any transformations you feel called to let happen during this season. We're then going to raise our right foot up straight in the air, still in that bridge pose, pushing our hips up towards the sky, keeping that right foot as straight as we can. You can even do some ankle stretches here if that feels good. Slowly lower that right foot down, and then do the same thing on the left side. Pushing our hips up towards the sky, keeping that left leg as straight as we can, stretching out our ankle, breathing into this moment. Breathing into any sensations we feel in our body. Push your hips up as high as you can. Do a few more hip sways here in the bridge pose, then slowly lower it down. I'm now going to put my legs in butterfly position, and then place one hand on my heart and one hand on my stomach. And just breathe into this moment, really being present with anything that came up during this yoga flow. Anything we need to let go of, anything we need to allow to be seen in our life that we've been hiding, or any tasks we feel called to do. Any transformations we feel called to embody during this season. Really just allow your internal guidance, your intuition to communicate with you in these next few moments as you take nice, deep breaths. You can also stay in this position or transition into the traditional Savasana pose. If it feels right, you can gently start coming back to this present moment by making any slight movements, or you can stay in Savasana a little bit longer. But go ahead and join me in the center of your mat if you're ready. Roll out your neck, roll out your shoulders, any intuitive moments that feel right in this moment. Thank you so much for joining me in today's yoga flow. I will see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's yoga flow or meditation, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future yoga flows or meditations. Or if you have any ideas for topics you want me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video. I love every single one of you, and I'm so grateful that you joined me today. See you in the next video.